Hey there, everyone! Today, it's gonna be another installment of A Hitchhiker's Guide to Early Access. And this time, we're taking a look at a game I've been playing on and off for the past few months. It goes by the name of Hand of Fate. Hand of Fate is very interesting. And like I said, I've been playing it on and off for the past several months, and it's gotten to the point now where it's so feature-rich and it's so much more polished than it was when I first started that I'd like to make a video on it. There's a lot more voice acting, there's...
returning to the fray.
You know what, dealer? Ain't nobody got time for you right now. And there's so much more to it. So, we're gonna jump in. And this is what it's like. So, this is a kind of adventure action RPG with some card game elements. And I say some card game elements, it is a card game. And how it works is you'll be given, at the very first instance you'll fight this. These are actually battles. The Jack of Dust, these are all bosses essentially at the end of an adventure, and after you beat each of these, the adventures get longer and longer and the bosses get more difficult. So for instance, the Jack of Dust, if I select it, I can go back to do this battle if I want to, which is a feature they added recently, which I'm glad about. It gives you some lore about who they are, and it allows you to fight them. And at the end of every 3 of these, you get an artifact that stays with you and has different upgrades. So, as you can see, for being the first 3 bosses, you get this goblet, and it changes the way the game works. It makes you stronger, and it makes your enemies stronger by giving them more abilities and varying them up and things like that. So even though you might be fighting similar enemies each time, adventure to adventure, they're going to actually have different abilities and things, which is an interesting way to do it. But here we go. So right now I'm on the Queen of Scales. And it is said that if you destroy a queen's totem, its spell will be broken and any surrounding lizards will be damaged. It is not known whether anyone has successfully achieved this. You get a bit of lore.
Take your time if you like.
Damn it.
I've waited long enough.
Yeah, I love the dealer. The Scales are basically lizard men, so the Queen of Scales is a pretty high up lizard man boss. And in this case, this is what's going to be in the deck, which I'll explain in a minute, by default, that I can't remove. So, there are going to be 2 challenges in it called Bad Fortune, and 4 called Lost in the Swamp that I'll more than likely come across, that are added to the deck and I can't remove them. Also, I'll have a curse. So, you'll have to sort of shuffle into a chance deck sometimes and pick the right card, almost like in a shell game type style. And that curse is going to make it more difficult for me to actually succeed in those, which sucks, but here we go.
The matriarchs of the lizard people have laid entire cities to waste.
A little lore for you right there. Now, here's what's going to happen. You have 2 decks to build. You have an equipment deck, which is the stuff that you're going to get, the gear for your hero, and the encounters deck, which are the actual things you're going to venture upon as you adventure through the levels. And right now, I've got a pretty large number of things in here, but I have to have 3 more things. Now, of course, you can take out and put in all kinds of things and just kind of make it however you want. Now, I'm going to put in some new stuff I've never got just to see what it's like. Let's put in a new shield. Let's put in a Skeleton King helm, because that sounds awesome. I'll be Leoric. And Eye of the Storm sounds interesting. Let's do that. There we go. So that deck is now completed. And now I'm going to do the same for the Encounters deck. Now the way Encounters work is you'll see a lot of these are locked, which are because I have to do certain things to unlock them and be able to remove them. I pissed off some golems at one point, and now I have these 3 golem hunting party decks that I can't remove.
Some cards are locked and cannot be removed from your deck.
As you can see. This encounter can only be removed by defeating it 3 times without dying during or between those encounters. So I've basically got to clear all 3 of these out in one adventure, which involves me actually finding all 3 of them, which isn't necessarily as easy as it sounds. And there are all sorts of these different things that you can come across, and it's awesome. So I'm just going to select Old Graveyard to put it in there, because what the heck. And do I want to get rid of anything? Not really, because a lot has changed since I last played, so. Now, there we go. The deck is built, and we can begin. So, welcome to Hand of Fate. Everything is being shuffled around. Those are things also that are put in the deck that I can't mess with, so here we go.
Useful.
Receive 1 food for every lizard killed. That's actually a big deal because I'm probably going to be fighting a lot of lizard men. That blessing is going to give me food every time I kill them, so that's awesome. So, wrong button, doofus. Inventory. So this is what I start with right now. I've got my trusty axe, as well as a merchant's ring, which, what does it do exactly? Let's see. All shops are revealed when entering a new region. That's useful to know exactly where a shop is. I've also got a shield that allows me to block, reflect, and counter. A crown of hindsight, so all encounter cards are revealed upon reaching the next stairs. That's a big deal as well. As well as medium armor and the blessing that I just showed you, and the cursed luck one we talked about already. That little purple banner means that they're sort of in this deck by default, and I can't mess with them because they're part of this adventure and not part of the deck that I build. So here we go. The way it works is you're going to explore around this adventure, and every step you take onto a new card is going to take 1 food away from you, heal you for 10 health, unless you have things that change that, and then do something depending on what encounter you land on. So let's do this. Boop. Oh, it's a golem hunting party. So I've got to defeat all 3 of them if I can. On a moonlit night, you see a group of golems on their way to attack another human settlement, and I get drawn 1 monster card, which is going to be some kind of lava golem. Oh, 3 of them. That's a really rough time for me without any good gear. I'm going to try and avoid them, but due to that curse, I'll probably fail. Yeah, so we've got... Oh god, it shuffles it more times and much faster because of that curse, so I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but... Nope, failure. I become lost in the moonlight. That sends me back into another one. Wow. That's some awesome, awesome luck is what that is. A 1 of lava golems. Okay, this one I can probably attack. So here we go. Let's see if, you know, what happens. Alright, I think this one is, yeah, alright. So this time I'll go into battle. And this is where the battle system begins. So, loads it up. And the game is a Unity game, but as you'll see, once everything lands and the lighting effects and everything trigger, it's actually kind of good looking. So here it is, and boom, fight. You can skip that now also. Now since I haven't played in a while, it's telling me the controls right now, but... So this is how it works. It is a kind of Arkham-esque combat system. Oops, I should have moved out of that one. And, this is something that's been a big sticking point for a lot of people. The combat system is, when the game first came on Steam in early access and was, ooh, I didn't dodge in time, and was shown to be quite janky, it was the worst part of the game for a lot of people. And I'm happy to say that it has improved significantly. The combat system is a ton better. There's more impact, it works much more fluidly, it looks better, the animation quality is better, and the combat has become just more than just a distraction from the main bit. Yeah, it's actually awesome. So, I got some food. Cool. And we're gonna keep going. I don't have any gold, so there's no point in me going to that shop. And this is how the game goes on. So this one...
Usury, the root of all troubles.
Healed me for 5, not for 10, I forgot. My bad. Alone. So, in a busy market town, you are approached by a shopkeeper on the verge of losing his store. Now, if I had some gold, I could do something, but unfortunately I'm going to have to decline and not do anything, so, yeah. I can't pay my debts. Yeah, sorry about that. That can unlock all sorts of things, but unfortunately, you know, I'm kind of screwed. Can't do anything. And so, I need to make it over here and there. Sea voyage!
Across the ocean, or merely a trip down the river.
They have added so much more dialogue with the dealer now that it's awesome. He comments on all kinds of things. Even when you do the same thing multiple times, he'll actually comment that, you know, you've done it before. So we're gonna board and get to the next screen of the adventure. Boom. So there's a shop. And again, there's no point in me going there right now because I can't afford it. So let's see what this is. Oh, geez. Lost in the Swamp, Mr. Lionel, Golem Hunting Party, The Apprentice. Okay, so this is actually the way to the next part of the adventure. I just happened to get lucky to find it. But honestly, I don't want to go right now. So here's what I'm going to do. I want to go up to The Apprentice to see what happens. So I'm going to have to go past the Golem Hunting Party, which sucks, but, you know, what do you do? A 2. Ugh. Alright. I can do this. Just gotta be a little more careful with my dodging. Ah, crap. I think this one was not... Yeah, okay, good. If you get a failure, you might have all kinds of disadvantages and things, and there are lots of things that can happen with the results there. Alright, here we go. Now, the actual... Whoops. The arenas themselves are much more dynamic than they used to be. As you can see, there's a little bit of an arrow trap right there. There are... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. There are different kinds of traps and interactions within the levels that do different things. And that one in particular is kind of good and bad. It can hurt some enemies and things like that and give you a bit of an advantage, but you have to, you know, not be killed by it yourself. And, what that means is that the levels are much more dynamic now. They can actually look pretty good and be fairly detailed because of the fact that most of them are fairly small. Some of them are bigger than others. You know, some of them are quite large. Whoa! But in this case, this one you've seen twice now, is not particularly sizable. Although I could, if I wanted, go across this bridge over to this area, and you can see there's quite a bit to it. But it's a small arena for a battle. There are all kinds of battlegrounds you can encounter that will have various traps and things. And in fact, there are some encounters which actually will send you to like labyrinths of traps and stuff with a treasure chest at the end. So the encounter itself actually has a bearing on the arena in which you'll be fighting or exploring or acting. Fighting these guys with like bare minimum equipment is not good. So the combat system is good now. It's still a little rough, but as you can see, there's better animation quality. There's that like slowdown on attacks and things like that. There's a combo counter, all of that. It helps to make it a little more satisfying and much more enjoyable than it used to be. So props to them for heavily improving the combat system, and they knew it was an issue and that it needed to be improved, so that's what they did. Alright, this encounter, The Apprentice.
And a wizard.
Now,
Or at least an apprentice.
as you'll see, this encounter has that little symbol at the bottom, which means there's a token associated with this encounter. And that token can be gotten if you succeed in the encounter. If you do something that you're supposed to do, it's not always obvious, but here we go. One day you happen upon a young wizard practicing his magic in the forest. He greets you in a friendly manner and beckons you closer. Alright, so in this case, I could probably get the token if I had a lot of gold, but I don't. I have some food, and this is kind of dumb because I'm a little bit low on food, but we'll try it. Yep, I got the token. Sweet. Don't worry, I'm almost always successful in transporting myself to every place. Oh, God.
It is yours. You can take
So I got the token. If I would have left, he would have put the token back in that urn and nothing would have happened. So there we go. Now I'm at a new location. And, yeah. So now whenever I either die or succeed in the adventure, that token will award me cards. And the way that those work is, the tokens usually contain more cards that are dependent on the adventure. So in that case, I might get a token that involves, like, seeing him again in a different situation, or, like, a portal to another land or something. That's how they work. You can get all kinds of equipment and new encounters from those tokens. You'll also get some unlocking the new boss every time you beat one.
Like that to be found in the wilderness on a
Stranger in the shadows.
moonless night.
On a dark moonless night down a lonely road, you encounter a hooded stranger. Yeah, he will, hurt me and give me gold. Basically, yeah, you can actually do this multiple times and eventually get a token for it, but in this case, since I'm kind of at half health already, that's gonna do it. So there you go. Now, yeah, I don't really have enough to get food, so this is a problem.
Our hero needs
Ah, treasure chest. Yes, he does, and that is probably a Gauntlet reference. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, God. I'm so screwed, aren't I? Yup. Gas trap. Well, I gotta try and escape, and again, I'm probably going to fail miserably at that. Oh. What? Oh, I thought I tracked that one properly. Well, I draw a pain card, so I could... Yep, I'm gonna lose some health. You can lose equipment, food, gold, health, maximum health. Gain cards work the same way. You can gain equipment and stuff like that, so... Alright, what's this? Alright, so... Although I really want to go over there, I don't have the food right now, so I'm just gonna have to take this onto the next section.
No. Another floor awaits.
Bam. And again, they've added so much, like, dialogue. It's kind of awesome. Alright, I'm gonna go to that one and see what happens, because I am in dire need of food. Call for the priest. Oh, in a shady grove off the beaten trail, you find a traveling merchant looking to trade with wandering adventurers. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't have much gold, and I don't really have anything I can sell, per se, but we'll see.
Buy more food. You must be relieved.
Yeah, and in fact, as you can see, they've even added dialogue that knows, because I've got no food, and so I kind of need this shop. Alright, do I have anything I can sell? I can sell the merchant's ring, but not for much. I'm gonna get rid of this. It's nice, but I'm gonna get rid of it for the gold. I could have that curse removed. Just, I want to see how expensive it is. Yeah, they're usually really expensive. I could heal myself and buy some blessings, but again, these are quite expensive. So I'm just gonna have to buy some food and move on. So 4 for 1, 11 for 3, or 18 for 5. Well, 18 for 5. That's what I can afford. So
I'm sure you're grateful.
There we go. And on we go. And this is how the game continues. It continues in this vein. You exploring and trying to survive and encountering different things and getting equipment and yeah. All right. A 4 of plague and a jack of plague. All right. Yeah. I love the little touch. I love the little touches they've added. The dialogue, the little references to things you've seen before. Like, the lore is much better. The fluff and flavor text on the actual encounters themselves is awesome. Ow. And then you have... I'm like stun-locked here. And then you have even more that the dealer himself actually says as you battle. I like that a lot. Again, the combat system is better than it ever has been. I'm failing miserably at it right now. But it feels a bit different than when I last played. It's better than it has been. There's more to it with the countering, the dodging, the deflecting of projectiles, and of course you can get artifacts which are like triggerable magical effects, and you can even have weapons that themselves do things like that. Like I've had that Frost Fang sword you may have seen in the deck can shoot out... Whoa. That's strange. It can shoot out like a cloud of frost or a bolt of frost at people, which is cool. Yeah, I'm doing very poorly. I'm also poisoned because of that, so I'm dead. Yep. And that's the end of our adventure because I failed miserably at the new combat system. Death indeed.
Dead in the lands of the lizard men. My piece takes yours.
I did that very poorly. I didn't find any equipment that way, so that was a really unlucky run for not finding any equipment whatsoever to gear myself out in, but let's see what I get from this token. For purchasing a portal to another land, you receive Surprise Portal, and that's yet another encounter I can find that'll do who knows what, and as you can see, it has its own token that I can also earn, so I might want to mix that into my deck now. Yes. I'll just see what that did. I'll see what that did to it in a minute. But there you go, folks. That is Hand of Fate. It continues on this way. I might do another video on it soon because it's continually being updated, and Defiant, the developers, are very good at listening to feedback and things, and they've just added so much to this that it's incredible. This entire screen looks totally different with the way that things change behind the dealer. The dealer's voice acting is superb. It's really good in my opinion. And all the flavor text referencing what you've seen and done before. The combat's much better. It's an excellent game. It is in early access, but it already feels rather feature complete. It is on the road to 1.0, as they say. It is soon to be released, I believe. Fairly soon. I'm not entirely sure how soon, but probably in the next few months it's going to be officially out. And I will be updating you on this one because I've been playing a lot of it. As you can tell, I haven't played it recently because I sucked that up like hardcore. But, you know, you'll probably get another video on this sooner rather than later, and that's been Hand of Fate, everyone. So thanks for watching, and excuse my terrible play this time around. I'll bring you another one that I promise will be better. Yeah. So there you guys go. I will link you in the description to this video to the Steam store page, and if you want, you can purchase Hand of Fate right now for 25 real Earth American dollars. I don't know what it's like in other regions right now, but probably similar in price, hopefully. And there you go. Again, it is in early access, so the usual caveats to that apply, but I believe that it's already so close to being finished by now that it's really worth it if you want to see something new. And that's really it, isn't it? It's people are constantly talking about how they're tired of seeing the same things over and over and they want some innovation in this world. Well, you got it. This is innovation. I've not seen anything like this before. It reminds me of like, I don't know, like Culdcept Saga, I guess is the closest thing, combined with like an Arkham-y combat system with some kind of Doom-y character design elements. It's a lot of awesome things, and I've never quite seen or played anything like it before. And I would kill for Culdcept Saga on PC, so, you know. Anyway, Hand of Fate, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Try not to let the dealer take your life.